Internet Vikings World of Experts.
Welcome, Steve. I'm thrilled to
Hello.
be with you on our show today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Sophia. Nice to be here.
Very nice to have you here. And without further ado, let's dive into our questions. We have quite a few questions for today. And tell us actually a bit more about your position, role, responsibilities as IT manager in a gaming-focused company, Internet Vikings.
Yes. Well, I joined Internet Vikings February last year, so close to a year now. Very excited about this post, and basically I'm responsible for the internal IT systems, meaning that I mostly deal with end user support, internal application technical evaluation, and testing integrations between applications. I also do policy implementation, and I also am responsible for the general internal IT strategy.
It sounds like a lot of things you are doing as your job description. Okay, let's move to the hottest topic of today and actually of this year, of the last decade, I believe. So what do you think about IT and the industry impact on sustainability in general? How does this sustainability impact the industry, and how does the industry impact the sustainability? So like vice versa, what do you think about it?
To be honest, I strongly believe that the technology in general is a very environmentally friendly business sector. The advances in efficiency of equipment, IT equipment mostly, and the improved functionality of each, let's say, asset we use are the driving force behind such a belief. As the hardware and the software platforms become more energy efficient, they help us, I believe, reach our objectives. Talking about sustainability influence, I'm sorry about that, it helps the business maintain a dynamic perspective and invokes the desire to change. Technology does have a habit of changing very, very quickly, and it's a contemporary sector. So basically it tries to fit in with what's going on around it. And the environment is certainly an issue which influences a lot of decisions in many business sectors. And certainly in technology, it has the same effect. So essentially, I believe that the way the advancement in technology helps us be more sustainable at the end of the day. So yes, I see that technology is it goes hand in hand with environment.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. And talking about the sustainability in IT, what do you think are the main pillars of sustainability in IT industry?
Well, simplifying processes means simpler integrations and smaller footprint. Internal IT definitely supports partners who are working towards the same goal when we are considering different platforms we use. As internal IT, we take into account how each application affects our efforts towards maintaining that sustainability. We strive to keep to the minimum number of different applications and suppliers we need to be able to work. The balance, though, between the operational optimization and sustainability is crucial, as if this balance is lost, we end up requiring more efforts to complete our tasks, which at the end of the day will result in needing more resources and more system administration from an internal IT point of view.
I have like a small additional question. Like as a non-technical person in a technical world, I would really like to know how does it actually, like, this linear impact? How does it look like when you reduce the number of applications you use, and then how can it impact directly on the sustainability, like, in general, like, because in my head it's like okay, like -1 application, that means like not that much for me, but how much does it mean for the industry?
Well, basically, what we are saying here is that it's like, you either create a system with a number of servers. Let's put it in more layman terms. If you can do the same job with 2 servers rather than with 10 servers, then obviously your footprint is smaller because you are consuming less energy, and you are operating greener. So in terms of applications and integrations, this would theoretically follow the same principle. So if I can do a task with 1 or 2 suppliers rather than having to involve 10 suppliers who are providing me with services, because maybe we should clarify that in most cases we as Internet Vikings use cloud-based systems. So what we are doing is, when we are involving new suppliers in our chain of tasks, we're essentially powering up more machines in the background. Now, one might say, but those machines are anyway on because they are serving other customers. But from our perspective, if we are involving 2 partners, then our footprint is smaller than if we had to involve 10 partners. So it's a bit, one might say it's a bit selfish because we're looking from our perspective. But it also helps if other companies follow the same principle. What it means is that you are streamlining your operations, and you are cutting down on your environmental footprint, which has an effect in the holistic point of view of power.
That made things perfectly clear, at least for me, and I hope for our listeners as well. Thank you, thank you for this answer. I mean, it's really clear. We were talking about Internet Vikings and what are the things we use and applications we use in Internet Vikings, right? And we know that we as a company are moving towards green IT and working on many significant initiatives. Could you maybe share some initiatives and how that impacts your area of responsibility?
Yes, as internal IT, we look towards, for example, procuring lower emission hardware. So the more the hardware equipment is efficient, the better for us. Power management on devices. So essentially, devices, if they don't need to be on, then they are not on. If they need to go into power save mode, then that should be the way to do it. On-premises device energy consumption awareness. Essentially, not introducing too much equipment. For example, I can give you a very practical example. In some cases where you have an internal IT workshop and you have a number of machines working in the background, maybe to deploy them or to do testing or whatever. It's our strategy is basically, if you don't need it on, then just switch it off. And if you, for example, the number of monitors, if you turn off the monitors, that's our little contribution towards making sure that we do not, take too much, consume too much power in that respect for nothing. Another way is a very, very simple thing is, like, for example, if we use cordless keyboards and cordless mice, we use rechargeable batteries. So rather than using one-time use batteries, we use rechargeable ones. And we also look at reducing the use of one-time plastics when we buy hardware. So, I mean, the casings and all the plastics that are going into the machines we buy, we prefer to look at at suppliers who use recycled material. Obviously, This sometimes is a bit controversial because from experience, certain recycled material does not have the strength or the durability of new plastic. But again, there are suppliers who work on the quality, and they believe in their quality. So whatever recycling they do, it doesn't impact their quality. In fact, talking about recycling, we also consider our recycling. How do we recycle our old equipment and disposing of it through the various waste management services available? So basically, we take them to there are various centers where you can take the hardware, and then they will strip them out, and they will basically send them for recycling to other places.
Sounds like so, I don't know, such a small steps, but all of them are so significant that it really does sound amazing. And actually, like the last question of mine, we were talking about Internet Vikings as a company, but what are the things like that every company can do? Like, for example, like starting from today on, how do you think each and every company can make a difference into moving forward with this sustainability topic? And is it actually possible to become like a fully sustainable company, or just at least like there is a huge amount of percentage that you can call the company a sustainable company? What are the steps that every company can make towards the sustainability right now?
I think it's a question of a culture. At the end of the day, we are all in this together. We all cherish our quality of life, and we all want to belong to a society which is healthier. I have to admit that the initiative taken by Internet Vikings was very exciting, and there was a huge motivator for, especially when I was on my first interview with our CEO, and I think it was one key factor which really enticed me to really want to join Internet Vikings, and the reason is. I think that it's a step in the right direction, and it should. I think it will also be a motivator for other companies to seek similar objectives as us. The issue is that we need to act now and consider the environment to be an issue which can be considered, which cannot be considered less important. The environment has been far too often put on the back burner of priorities in many industries. But our well-being as Internet Viking staff also helps us become more fulfilled. And this ideology is probably true in also in other companies. A lot of people and a lot of awareness makes people want to do things. It just takes a small step, like in the case of Internet Vikings, where our marketing team has come up with this innovative idea, and bringing people together to pool in the ideas. Gaming is especially a very multicultural environment, and it certainly has a lot of diversity in it. And it is exactly this multiculturalism and this diversity which needs to be put together in an initiative just like Green IT for us, and you will be surprised how many ideas and how many innovative, creative ways people will come up with to do our part in the environment and sustainability. So at the end of the day, I think that other companies, if they would like to take in our footsteps, the first thing to do is just get a team of people to organize a project like this, and invite as many people as possible from the company to participate. Because, as I said, people will want to do it, and people will be highly motivated to participate in it, because it affects everyone.
Thank you so much for such an inspiration at the end of our live stream. It was truly inspiring for me. I hope it was the same for our listeners.
Do not miss our future podcasts. Subscribe now.